fixed. My question to you, Mr. Steinrich, is, are you ready for me in high definition?
You look marvelous, Joe Hamilton. You must have got some new gear or equipment there. I know you got a mic a couple shows ago, but you must be taking this job seriously. But what's with the camera?
Yeah, I was browsing Facebook Marketplace and looking for some more fishing gear, and a gentleman who was a YouTube influencer decided to change paths and was selling his whole setup. So put my mask on and drove over to his house and bought the whole works. And so I'm ready to do openings. I'm ready to do makeup tutorials. I'm ready to do cooking shows. You name it, we've got the gear, and we can go.
Well, there's two things there. The fish are happy that you didn't go get more fishing supplies. So that was a good thing there. And then the second thing is a good lesson to learn for the businesses. And I really mean this. If you're leading a business, you should really consider what kind of camera and microphone you're using when you're on your Zoom calls, because it matters. And you've seen people on their laptop cameras and audio, and it just doesn't create the brand you're looking for. But I got to believe with the brand you guys are trying to create, that works. So I think it's a good tip for everybody to invest in some technology, because we're going to be doing this for a while. We've been spending a lot of time on this, and thank you to the Catalyst folks. Your entire family has done a great job for us getting the message out. We started talking about we're going to reopen only if it's safe, and we've had such great stories about the reopening. People are behaving for the most part, understanding how much care they have. But we also talked about let's follow the numbers. So do you mind if I share the screen real quick and just start each one with the numbers? So we want to know, how did our community perform overnight? We reopened. What did our numbers tell us about the reopen? So I'd really love just a moment of time just to share this and see if this comes through all right. And I don't know if you can see that correctly. It should say Pinellas County Metrics above it.
Yep.
And again, for your viewers that are watching this, green is good, red means it's going in the wrong direction, and the blue is just a pure data number. So what we have done, now we have our data points, but now we have our COVID data points as well. What we had learned from the mayor when he said we were allowed to reopen as businesses is he was looking for one of our markers to be the percent of positive cases to be under 6%. You can see today, again, it remains decreasing at 4.8%. And we can see a trend now of the numbers going down. So we're watching that, but so every day we're going to watch this. And for the next 2 weeks, if we start to see this creep up, we know that there are folks that aren't following the rules and that we're just not containing ourselves. So we're going to watch that. The other one you want to watch is this one, the 14-day average new cases. This is the one that's well reported. And today we see the new average cases actually decreasing. And yesterday it was up it was at 12. So today it went down. So this is another good indicator. So these two are the ones the mayor has asked us to look at, along with the hospital beds. And we're going to actually talk to a guest today about hospitals themselves. So, because I want every business to be able to tell their consumers and their families and their loved ones, I believe we're safe, and here's why, and here's the data to prove that. So it's not just a leap of faith, but let's use good metrics to do that. One last thing, Joe, just to see, believe it or not, based on everything, even though 8,247 people filed for unemployment in Pinellas County this week, year over year, we still have a positive net employment. Now, next week or next month, I anticipate this to go red because of the continued unemployment numbers. But right now, we're still at a positive effort, and you're going to start to see these move. But we're tracking what COVID is doing to our economy as well, and I'd love to report out on that going forward as well. So now at least we know the data of what's being reported. And I think, I don't want to go in much farther to make sure that our hospitals agree with that. So what I thought we'd do is talk to Valerie from Northside Hospital, who leads that, and she can give us some comfort in what they're seeing at a frontline position. And there she is now. Valerie, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, I was just showing the viewers the scorecard you saw this morning in our board meeting that showed that the numbers still look like they're going well. So I'm glad you're jumping on the call, because I want to talk about the numbers for hospitals. But before I do that, I don't know if people really know much of you. So can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. I am just so privileged to be the CEO here at Northside Hospital. And I've actually been here for about a year now. I started on April Fool's Day. So it's just been an amazing experience here at Northside, and to see the level of commitment that our caregivers have to our patients in this community is very inspiring.
So it looks like you're in the office, and you have been in the office, but you have a family at home too. How is your family faring through all this?
Yeah, I have to say those kids are so resilient. And so I've been really impressed with how they've been able to navigate this whole process. Right now, homework, can be a challenge from day to day, but for the most part, they're doing well. I do have a senior, and she, I think at this point, has a little bit of senioritis, but other than that, she is doing well and excited about starting that new chapter in her life.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's good. For every parent out there, everybody's nodding their head now, going, "I don't know." This. I bet everybody's ready for summer, no matter what, just so that they can get the schooling out of the way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. So now, tell people a little bit about Northside to begin with. The size of it is pretty impressive, but just when not COVID-19, describe your hospital for folks.
Sure. We have been proudly serving this community since 1976. And we have 288 beds, and our focus has really been cardiac care. We do advanced procedures here for cardiac care. We were the first comprehensive stroke program in Pinellas County, and we continue to do a great job with that. We also are very strong with orthopedics and general surgery as well.
Awesome. And it's an amazing campus setting up in our North St. Pete area. And now the thing we all have seen is the courage of you and your frontline workers willing to do what you all have done. Can you just describe when it was at its peak, what you saw in the people and the experience that and the market left on you?
Yes, sure. Absolutely. I have to say, I'm so thankful for our team and the heroic efforts that they have made to care for patients in our community. They've displayed resilience, courage, compassion, and so I've just been very inspired by what I've seen them do every single day here.
Got it. And now, so how is it? How are you doing now? So, what my biggest fear is that people get sick and they just can't get care. Are you able to provide a level of service of care that you're comfortable with?
Absolutely. We definitely have the capacity. We have created and have continued to create a safe environment. Everyone has the PPE that they need to keep everybody safe, but patient safety and comfort is our top priority. It has always been our top priority and will continue to be our top priority as we move forward. And we've really intensified, our safety precautions that have already been in place to keep patients, our visitors, and our caregivers safe. So, if you don't mind, I'll share just a couple of things that we're doing here at Northside to keep everybody safe. Number one, we continue to follow the CDC guidelines, for hand hygiene, for social distancing. We also, with the elective surgeries now, we're able to do COVID testing, pre-op testing. So every patient that comes here that needs a procedure or surgery done will have a COVID test done about 72 hours before the procedure so that we have enough time to review those results prior to that procedure to make sure everybody's safe. So we are happy to be able to offer that to the community. We've also cohorted our patients so that if there's a patient that is COVID positive, they're actually in a separate unit than patients who are not. So if someone is not COVID positive, they're in a separate area in the hospital, again, to keep everybody safe. We've also enhanced our screening. Everyone that comes to our hospital is screened for symptoms. Also for the caregivers at that screening, there's a temperature check done every single day for the caregivers. And one of the things I talked about at our chamber board meeting this morning was that for our high touch areas, those elevators, those vending machines, our housekeeping crew, they actually clean those every 2 hours. So we're doing everything that we can do to make sure that everybody's safe here.
Boy, it certainly sounds that way. And I think a lot of lessons we can learn because that's your business anyway. You guys keep people safe from infections and everything else to get them out of there safely. So I'm sure people are furiously taking the notes on some of that. But so the good news that I hear is that you guys have your PPE. Were there times when you were concerned about that, but now you feel like you've got the supply, you understand how to do that? Now, I mean, like you've got the supply sources ready for that?
Yeah, actually, we have, this whole time, actually, we have had enough PPE. We've been very fortunate. We're part of a larger organization, HCA, and so which is comprised of about 185 hospitals throughout the country. So we have the resources, quite honestly, to be able to leverage the PPE supply. So we've been very fortunate with that. And additionally, the city and the county have been awesome about donating PPE equipment to our staff members, our frontline folks as well. So that has been a great resource for us.
Man, that's beautiful to hear, because I know the community rallied, but it's good to have. And I know HCA has another hospital in our community, St. Pete General, which is a great chamber member as well. And so you guys, I'm sure, were able to assist each other in that, along with the other hospitals that we have. I saw you guys working together, getting on calls, ensuring that everybody was supported. So is it your impression then to the viewers out there that, hey, the hospitals are a safe place now? If you need a test, you can get a test. If you're concerned about that procedure that you put off that might have been not even necessarily elective, but just been postponed, that you can get back in and start that. Are you guys starting those new procedures, or bringing procedures back?
Yes. So we've started the elective procedures. The other procedures we're continuing to do as well. So we have really tried to do our best in making certain that, like you just said, people know that it's a safe place to have a procedure done or surgery done. And so we have started that process, and so far so good. We've got a lot of positive feedback from our patients that they actually want us to have that testing done. And we've gotten good feedback about how they feel safe in this environment. I was actually just talking to a patient yesterday on my way out, and she talked about, number one, the care that she got from our caregivers, but also some of the things that we had in place to keep everybody safe.
That's a beautiful thing, because I want to make sure everybody's safe. So you sat through my presentation that Joe had to sit through, that most of the communities now had to sit through, about how we want to reopen safe. What are there any concerns you want to express to the business community or the customer? Do you feel like we've got a good plan? I mean, like, where are you on the head as far as you have to take care of us if we get sick? So I just need to hear from you. Are we in the right place right now?
We are so heading in the right direction. I was really impressed with your plan, by the way. It was comprehensive. I like the fact that you're very collaborative in your approach. And so I'm just really impressed with that. And I really appreciate specifically your comment about universal masking. And so, and making sure that folks are wearing masks. Again, it protects everyone. And so I really appreciate your comments about that. We do that here at the hospital. And I encourage folks to do that outside of the hospital setting as well. That's how we continue to see those declines that you referred to earlier in our community.
Well, I appreciate that. I really think it's important for Joe, your listeners, to hear that now we've got hospital administrators who at first were like, please do everything you can to stay away. We want to take care of folks. Now they're saying, hey, we've got our supply chain in order. We've got our procedures in order. We're opening our doors for our businesses to get going again. And it's time. She did mention also the mask conversation. I'm a little concerned about just how people are dealing with masks. And this is not a political statement, Joe, but what we talked about in our chamber board was, we know the governor and the county and the country has said they are optional when you go face to face. We just know that it probably feels better to take care of people if you go ahead and show leadership and put the mask on first so people understand it. So I've asked all my board members to demonstrate leadership, and when they go face to face in settings, that they wear a mask, just to show leadership and a sense of we care about others more than just the rules. We know we don't have to wear it, but we're doing it because we care, and also because we think it's the right thing. So you're going to see more and more of us discuss just how best to do this. And in fact, Joe, for those who might be listening, the chamber did purchase some disposable masks. I got a limited supply. If they can get a hold of me and say they saw the show, they're willing to give me their guidelines, like Valerie just did today, about how they're going to be safe. We'll make sure that they get set up in a way that helps them. So, but I just think we got to take care of each other in that, and Valerie has shown that. So Valerie, before I let you leave, I know I've got you got to get going, but so after all this, so you came into the market on April Fools. All of a sudden now the world's changed, but Northside still is kind of like this beautiful, wonderful organization that's actually jamming on some of the awards and stuff. So brag a little bit about just your institution.
I am so happy to do that. Yes. So as I announced at the board meeting this morning, Northside was actually recognized as one of the top workplaces in Tampa Bay. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the survey, there's actually a survey that is completed by our employees. Those results are evaluated, and based on the survey results, we receive this recognition. And I am just so proud of our culture here. And I think it's great to be recognized for the great culture that we have here. And for me, selfishly, for us, it's about our reputation in the community. It's about hospital pride, but it's also about recruitment. And it allows us to really improve those recruitment efforts and attract folks here who are top performers. And so we're really excited about that, who can care for patients. So I wanted to mention the Leapfrog A as well for safety.
Well, congratulations. I know there's going to be more to come, but I know those folks didn't do it for that award, but I know all we've seen is how they've performed. So if you can give them a hearty thank you from our community for all those frontline workers that somehow sacrificed their own livelihood for ours, which I'll never understand, but I'm certainly so appreciative of. Please let everybody know we thank them and we're excited. And I'm going to see if I can get some of our restaurants and others to recognize our frontline workers in special discounts and ways as well, just because I really do think we just need to keep showing the love, because it's not over yet and they're still being asked to do a lot of work.
And if I may speak to that, Chris, I've just been so impressed with this amazing community, how they've supported our hospital and our caregivers. They have been so generous to us. We kind of talked about that. We've received food donations from local restaurants. We know they're struggling, but they're still donating to our frontline workers, our frontline partners, the fire department, the EMS crew members. They provide a hero salute to our team members a couple of weeks ago, which they really appreciated. Like we talked about the PPE supplies we've gotten from the county and the city, as well as just the words of encouragement, from our community. So we're so thankful for that, and want to make sure that you viewers heard that today.
Well, you're one of those places we never want to have to go to, but we're glad you're there. And so thank you for being it. Thank you for being a partner of mine in our community. Thanks for helping our community grow. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And please stay safe.